Terry Apala, arrested for Naira mutilation. All right. And for this one, I have another screenshot I'm gonna share here, or Instagram post I'm gonna share here. And this one is by Mazi Tunde Ednot. Shout out to you, man. Stepping on Naira note, court orders Terry Apala to be remanded. I'm going to read this one here. It's a short one. A federal high court sitting in Lagos on Friday has ordered the remand of hip-hop musician Terry Alexander AJ, also known as Terry Apala, for a charge of Naira abuse. Justice Akintayo Aluko ordered his remand in the Ikoyi Correctional Center, Lagos, till May 5, 2025, when his bail application would be heard and determined. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had arraigned AJ before the court on a one-count charge of abuse of the Naira by marching on it whilst dancing during a social event at Madison Place, Oniru, Lagos Island. Counsel to the EFCC, Suleiman, then asked the court to allow the charge to be read to the defendant so he could take his plea. The defendant, however, pled not guilty to the charge, after which Suleiman asked for a trial date and the remand of the defendant in the custody of the Nigerian Correctional Center. First off, I think the verbiage here is just very messed up. You know, he says here, the EFCC had arraigned AJ before the court on a one-count charge of abuse of the Naira by marching on it. The verbiage here just reeks of incompetence, in my opinion. But before I go into my opinion or my thoughts on this, I think the EFCC, I think they do a great job, you know, in terms of corruption in Nigeria. They try. You know, for the likes of the former governor of Delta State, James Ibori, for the likes of the former petroleum minister, Alice Madueke, and for so many others who they've, you know, arraigned or looked into their cases and, you know, determined that they committed fraud and all that. They've done a great job in that regard. However, they have their limitations too, because there is a case where someone is being accused or, you know, accused by the EFCC of corruption. Many cases, not just one case. Someone is being accused by the EFCC of corruption, and then they switch to the ruling party. Maybe they are in the opposition party, and then they switch to the ruling party, and then all charges are dropped against them. So that's another part where the EFCC has some shortcomings. And this case about Terry Apala stepping on Naira notes, I think it's just a ridiculous case. And I think they're just trying to make an example. Just the same way they made an example of Bobrisky, just the same way I thought they made an example of Bobrisky, I think that's the case with Terry Apala as well. Because I don't see any society where this would, like stepping on the note, on the currency, is a crime, a federal crime that warrants you to put someone in prison. In the USA here, and by the way, the $1 bill is bigger than any other denomination in Nigeria. The $1 bill is, you know, equivalent to 1,500, over 1,000 or around 1,500 Naira. The highest denomination we have is 1,000 Naira. So the dollar bill is big, even bigger than the 1,000 Naira in equivalence. And all day, every day, they have people in the clubs in the USA spraying the $1 bill, you know, even the $100 bills, spraying it and doing whatever they want with it. It's your money. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's your money. You do what you want to do with it, right? But in Nigeria, for some reason, again, we leave the very important things and chase dusts, right? We chase dust. The EFCC has a charge. They are a commission that is supposed to look at corruption. How does one stepping on the Naira notes, how does that equate to corruption? How does that equate to corruption? How does that equate to crime? There are literal criminals in Nigeria walking around with policemen enabled by the same government. But you leave those people and you go after hardworking people like Terry Apala. Terry Apala he's a musician doing his thing by himself with no aid from the government, with no help from the government, doing his thing just by his art, using his art to make a livelihood for himself. And suddenly the EFCC comes for him saying, oh, you committed a crime by stepping on the Naira notes. Again, I think this is a ridiculous charge. Free Terry Apala. That's all I can say. Free Terry Apala. Because in my opinion, and in the opinion of most Nigerians, I think that's a nonsense case. But hey, we're going to see how that goes. But with that, free Terry Apala.